After a ton of thinking on whether or not to sell my reef tanks, I finally have a plan. I am once again about to go out of town for 10 days, I think this time. So I have to get the tanks back in order before I head out and make sure they look as good as possible and everything is taken care of. So the first thing that I always do is I make sure that the glass is clean. This isn't something that takes me too long, and it makes a huge difference in having the tank in the living room. With the glass clean, the tank is already looking much, much better. I did a water change, another water change, about 2 days ago, I think it was, and I sucked out some more stuff from the sand bed, although this was a week apart on water changes, which is more frequent than I usually do, and there wasn't that much buildup. So that is a good sign, although I am starting to see some glass bottom popping up, which means I'm getting a little low on the sand. I also did find the tiger conch here just not moving, so I'm guessing he KO'd. That could be another factor in just the sand bed not getting as clean. I definitely don't think that's the reason we have all the algae, but you know, they help move things around and keep things flowing, so he could have been helping a little bit. I don't think it is just one thing. I think it is just a combination of a bunch of things making it worse. Anyways, once I do that, I double check that there is plenty of food for the time period that I'm going to be gone, and I feed the fish. Here we go. Yay. Guys, I've been folding it, not rolling it. I don't know. I can't figure it out. They still rip it off. This one specifically is a bad example because I think it's kind of ripped already. But yeah, I don't know. They're just... I guess it's user error. I also come over here and make sure that my water level is good and that I don't need to add any RO. You guys left a ton of useful tips and suggestions on my last video when I was trying to decide on whether or not to sell the reef tanks. So thank you guys so much for that. 2 main points stuck out to me, and that is that if this was something that was me not having time for like the foreseeable future or just temporarily not having time. And that is a really good point because I do see myself remodeling more houses after I'm done with my house. However, I don't know how soon that's going to come, so I don't know yet if it's going to be an immediate change of timing or if it will be like I'll free up some time and then I'll not have time again. So I'm not sure on that point. And then another point was that there's so many things going wrong with the tank right now to not like make a rash decision about it before I get everything kind of back in order and then decide, which I like that because, you know, it's easy to jump to, you know, just sell it, forget it, I'm done with it. But it is extra stressful because there's so many things going wrong with it right now. If I was to fix some of those things, then that might not be an issue anymore and some of that stress level will go down and the tank might become more enjoyable again. So this light is still just about every day going off. So I am trying to figure out something right now so that way I can have a temporary light and send it in and get it fixed, because that is in itself a big, big dilemma. The only way I think that the algae is gonna get change is if I do more frequent water changes. So I'm going to try when I'm in town to do, like, instead of just doing one when I'm in town, to maybe do 2. That way I get that little extra cleaning before I head back out. Like I said, this time they were only a week apart and there was much less algae growth. Another step to getting ready is making sure that my alkalinity and calcium dosers are all okay. Which, I mean, they would probably be fine, but I'll top them off anyway, just so there's no issues. I usually only fill them up about 3/4 of the way, so good to go. And then the final thing I do with this tank is just clean out the filter in the back, and we will be good to go. Oh, and I also look around and just make sure that nothing is out of place or knocked over or just stinging each other, things like that. I make sure everything is spread as much as possible. Ooh, this guy is almost ready to split. Not yet though, it's kind of like starting to curl over here. It split like 2 or 3 times, I think, really fast, and then this last one's taken a bit longer, but it should be there pretty soon. So yeah, I just make sure that everything looks as it should and that we are okay, and everything does look pretty good. So this tank will be good to go. If anybody's local, I do need to get rid of some of this extra coral. So this Hollywood Stunner over here, this is like my main mother colony. I think I have the whole colony up for sale for like 60 bucks. The mushroom's already claimed when it does split. I could do a Space Invader Chalice. I could probably do like $20 frags, break off some of that stuff. I have Jack-o'-lantern. I have a huge piece over there. I don't even know. It's probably encrusted onto the rock, but if I can get a big chunk out of there, I could do 30 bucks on it if it breaks like the full thing, or I could probably do smaller $20 frags. And then over here I have a bunch of little toadstools, $20 toadstools. I got blue plating sponge, $20 for that piece too. Bunch of stuff for 20 bucks. I'm just trying to make space. Look, I got this mushroom here too. Bunch of stuff. If you're local, hit me up so I can clear out some space in here. So with this tank, I have decided not to sell it just yet. I am first going to work on getting all of the equipment functioning again properly, getting the algae under control, and I'm gonna work on getting this tank fully automized for everything. So I have my dosing automized and my light schedule, obviously without the fact of it not turning on, but I'm gonna work on getting this set up with an ATO, and I'm going to work on getting just some other things automized to only have to hopefully do feeding, which I could also automize potentially. I'm gonna look into some seaweed fish feeders. If you guys have any recommendations for that, drop a comment down below. Okay, before I show you guys the Nano Reef and what's going on over there, I want to show you guys something new that I bought. It's my brand new car. Well, brand new to me. It's not brand new. I just spent the last like 3 days washing and waxing and everything because it kept on and off raining, so I couldn't like do anything fully. It had to just keep pausing. But yeah, I upgraded to an SUV. Yay! Look at this puppy with a full-on moonroof. Hold on, I gotta show you this. This thing is pretty cool. It was definitely one of the features that I definitely wanted to have. Heck yeah, dude. Woo! Believe me, I really did not want to get a new car. I mean, obviously, you know, I did, but I didn't because I love my BMW. I really do. It's just, it was getting up there, 113,000 miles, and I just wanted something more reliable, like that I didn't have to worry about if I was going to make it somewhere because something was going to just stop working at the point it's at, you know? Love BMWs. They drive super awesome. They're super clean. My interior's really nice. I love it. They're just maintenance vehicles. They really are. You have to keep up with everything and make sure to stay on top of stuff. If you're in the market for a 2009 BMW 535i and you're local, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram because it is for sale. Anyway, this is the Kia Sorento SX model. It is a turboed SUV. They did have this version in like just the S Sports model that wasn't turboed, and I was going to get that one because, oops, still getting used to everything. Hey, thank you. Because they don't have the turbo versions with the bench back seat. So it's a 6-seater, because all my friends can go in here, you know, all the friends that I have. But anyway, I was gonna get the bench seat because I prefer that over the captain's chairs. However, they don't have the turbo version without captain's chairs, which is a real bummer. Like, I don't, even this is a 2023, even the 2025 models do not have the bench seat with the turboed engine, which I feel like is a miss there, you know? But at the end of the day, I decided to go with this one. One, because it was all like blacked out, black on black stealthy, and because it had the turbo. And once I drove the turbo and the not turbo, it's just night and day. Like, the other one just wasn't, they're 4-cylinder engines, so it wasn't, I felt like it wasn't powerful enough. Like, I would hit the gas. I'm a fairly aggressive driver. I wouldn't say I'm aggressive. I would say that I don't know, like, if I hit the gas, I want the car to be responsive, you know? Like, if I gotta go somewhere or get past something, I want to hit the gas and know that I'm gonna feel confident that my car can do that, you know? The BMW was turboed as well, so I'm coming from that to an SUV that's already a bigger vehicle. It just felt underpowered with the regular 4-cylinder engine. So I went with turbo, and so far I'm really liking driving it. However, it is showing to be quite a gas guzzler, and I'm driving it nice like a little grandma because, you know, I'm trying to save gas. But I don't know, we'll see. I thought it was going to be better because it was a 4-cylinder than the BMW, but I don't know. I blew through like a 1/4 tank of gas in like 2 days. So we'll see once I fill it up how many miles to the tank I actually get. That's my new purchase. Now back to the Nano Reef. The hair algae on this tank has significantly died down. With the water change this week, I pulled out a little bit more, but it was nowhere near as much as it was last time. Looks like the Hermit's actually working on it right now as we speak. So that is good news, right? You guys also gave me some recommendations on what to do with this hair algae in terms of pulling the rock out and getting it off, which I will try if it comes back again when I get back as I guess aggressive as it was the first time. Wow, man, that Scully is just like exponentially growing. I don't know what the heck is going on with it right now, but it is moving. I did forget to mention one other thing I did to the Red Sea to help, which seems to maybe be helping a little bit with algae. When my lights were at peak, my red and green levels were at 10%. I have brought those down to 8% each, and I have also started my descent down to like my strictly blues like an hour sooner, so it's more gradual and a little bit less of full peak hours. I didn't want to do anything too drastic, but I wanted to see how that would affect things. So other than the algae in this tank, everything else is fine. Fish are fine, corals are fine, and yeah, this auto top off is game changing, the best thing that I have freaking ever got for these tanks. So I'll do the same thing to this tank to get it ready for vacation mode as I do to the other one. I make sure that it has water, which in this case, this is 3/4 full. That is plenty for 10 days. I think, yeah, like I don't even have to do anything like that. But this guy's been working great. I just cleaned it off when I did the water change 2 days ago, but I just wipe it like that just to make sure it's not getting buildup on there. I then clean the glass. This one's not that big of a deal because it's not in the middle of my living room. But, you know, I still like to make it look pretty. Hey, turn over. Oh no, we lost another Trochus. Man, what the heck? I still like to make it look pretty because, you know, there's nothing like coming back to a filthy tank. It's not fun. So if this is just a little less filthy when I get back, it's nice. Once that's done, I will pause the pumps and feed these little guys as well. I got a mix of different foods in here. It's really interesting to me that only some zoas on the back wall do really well and others just don't. Look, those guys all closed up and KO'd again, but those green ones down there flourishing. The white zombies, look, they just broke off, went even more crazy. The pink diamonds, I understand those are not doing good because, you know, it was getting suffocated by hair algae, so that one's not doing great. This other guy here, which I don't know the name of it, but look, breaking off, getting to its own different plug over there as well. Just very interesting. And yes, the little hammer is still alive. He is hanging on for dear life right there. Looks like this Favia popped out another head over here, and they are super fluffy. That is one of my favorite pieces in the tank right now. Again, not dosing anything or putting any coral food in here, so I'm kind of surprised it's doing so well. Look at that Scully from the top. Tell me that is not some crazy exponential growth that's going on with it right now. I mean, go back to a couple months ago. In my videos, you didn't even know it was in here because it was so small. I just kind of left it in the back corner just to see what would happen with it. And look at that. That's why you don't toss that stuff unless it's a complete freaking white skeleton. I had a little piece of the Scully left on there and I said, let me just leave it. And look at it. It's doing freaking beautifully. It has a full mouth on it again. And I would say it's probably the size, like 1.5 inches maybe around. Even the Yuma is looking really big and fluffy. They must have, I don't know, really liked that weekly water change. Hope they don't get used to it. I just cleaned the filter and this tank is done as well. So the plan with this tank is also to get it back up to par before making any rash decisions. If I was to sell either of the tanks, it would probably be this one, just because that one has so much more time and money and effort into it than this one does. But I'm not there just yet. I like your guys' suggestions, get things back in order, and then make my decision. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully the hair algae keeps going down. I'll do another water change right when I get back, kind of up that and see if we can get that back in check. If any of you guys are local and interested in any of the corals that I pointed out for overgrowth, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram, or if you're looking to buy a 2009 BMW 535i, hit me up for that as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.